So thank you, sir, for an inspiring and forward-looking interaction with the university community today. Your work in building cross-border innovation ecosystem deeply resonates with the vision of the University of Jammu. We are excited to move ahead with the proposed collaboration with GHV Accelerator, and today's session has laid a strong foundation for that. So before we move formally, sir, I would like to ask a few questions uh, to better understand how we can make this collaboration most meaningful for the university. So can you please share how can this partnership between GHV Accelerator and the Center for IT University of Jammu help the university to gain exposure to real world startup ecosystem, especially in emerging technologies?
Great. Thank you. First of all, I'll have to extend my big thanks to the whole fraternity of the university who welcomed me on this special day, and believing in what we do as GHV and what we are basically trying to achieve for the startup ecosystem in India for the last 11 years. So to your point, what you have emphasized in your question is like what value we as GHV Accelerator can bring. So I'd like to start with like what we have been adding value to others in the collaboration of the similar nature. We have been more engaged with the corporates globally, and the value we bring to them is not just a kind of a mentoring or a funding. It's basically our mission is to make more successful startups from India through Startup India initiative. So the first thing which we bring and we try to help our partners to achieve is through our knowledge framework is how to make a fundable startup. Now when I say a fundable startup, it's like there are many parameters on which a startup gets a funding in the country or in the world. So we help the startups to achieve those through our partnership, that is GHV Accelerator with your respected organization. The parameters to be inculcated in your program for your entrepreneurs whom you are going to nurture in this program. And the second value which we try to bring is the global exposure for your institute, for your entrepreneurs, for the startups and all the initiatives under this umbrella and the partnership. The third thing which we discussed today with your leadership today is the 3 P's which I firmly believe in, and what I have built for myself I like to share with your institute through our partnership of GHV Accelerator are the 3 P's. The first P is the people. The people of the industry who are relevant for this program you are going to launch or already running it today in the university. Through our partnership, we'll bring those people to you. The second P is the product, helping the entrepreneurs or the program initiatives where the product ideation is required, product packaging is required, product marketing is required. We'll help guide and help in navigating, building a product for you. The third P are the people. The third P is the popularity. That's basically how to build a go-to-market strategies for you, for your product, for your programs in the national interest and for the global market interest. So that's what we are trying to bring as a value in this partnership for you through GHV Accelerator. Thank you.
That's great, sir. So now I would also like to know that what steps can the university take to align its academic and research environment with the innovation-driven models you have already implemented through DX Lab and Made in Japan and India?
Can you repeat this question again?
Sir, what are the steps that the university can take to align its academic and research environment with the innovation-driven models you have already implemented through DX Lab and Made in Japan and India?
Thank you. So the steps which we like to see in your program, which we like to bring it and suggest you to inculcate in the program for the initiatives of the innovation in your institute. Try to nurture entrepreneurs' DNA to be created as early as possible. For example, a student in the first year should be encouraged what are the values required, what are the parameters on which the founders are created, successful founders are built in the market. So those parameters are to be taught, rendered in terms of knowledge to the first year students in your program. The second value is about the challenges. Everyone talks about the success in the world to the entrepreneurs or to the through the programs. What it should be conveyed to the first year or the new fresher intakes in the program, they should be taught about the failures, and failures should not be taken as a kind of a end result for them, and they should be taught and should be given some experience by making them interact with the successful founders who failed n number of times in their life, in their journey, but they still made it, because failure and the success are the two things which come hand in hand in the entrepreneurship. So that's the second value to be taught to the founders. And the third, last but not the least, is about how to remain focused while they're building their venture, while they're building their journey for a long term. They should not think for a short term. When I say long term, it should be not less than 10 years. So that's what I have to say.
Right. So one important thing that came up during the interaction was that you were talking about the ecosystem. That most of the brains, major brains, which left India, and they could make good wealth outside India. So what type of ecosystem you were referring to? What type of ecosystem? What advice would you like to give to our young entrepreneurs? Which ecosystem you are talking about?
Okay. So when I was emphasizing on the ecosystem and its uniqueness and the USP, unique selling point, vis-a-vis other ecosystem which is existing in the country, which may overlap to a certain degree, is again around the three P's: the people, the product, and the popularity. And popularity in the sense of go to market. So the ecosystem of the people in terms of mentors. Now those mentors should definitely be considered in the ecosystem which is to be created for this institute. Are those successful founders or wannabe founders or the CXOs of the corporate world who are not only in India but abroad but have origins from Jammu. They should be identified as people and should be made and requested to join and contribute back to the society as mentors. That's the first part of the first P of the three Ps. The second part of the people are and in the ecosystem are the people who have the vision aligned with what your institute is doing or going to build for the global market as from the university. Those who think that Jammu has the potential to show to the world the talent pool can meet the expectation of the global market. So those mentors, investors, advisors, consulting partners, they all should be identified and they should be onboarded as the part of the ecosystem of this institute. The second P, the product, again is like relevance of a product the startup founders will create through this incubator or this institute should have a benchmark. And the benchmark in the sense, like if someone is trying to create a product using AI, deep tech or robotic, which can help in reducing the effort of processing the walnut packaging in Jammu or the apricot packaging in the Jammu factory. Similar products might be coexisting in European markets or the Eastern market or the Western market. I think those products should be referred, identified, and should be plugged in with this incubator to be part of the ecosystem, so that the wannabe entrepreneurs can refer as a benchmark below which they should not build up product quality from Jammu for the global market. So that's the second P, second part of the P of the ecosystem. And the third P is basically the people who can promote the product as a popularity, that is through go to market. I think to summarize that, the ecosystem, investors, mentors, academia, not restricted to Jammu University but global fraternity should be engaged, relevant with this program. I think that's what I call as an ecosystem to be created and should be nurtured and engaged constantly through every year for this betterment of the program.
So, given your experience of mentoring over 200 startups, what advice would you offer to the university like us aiming for strong sustainable incubation and entrepreneurship ecosystem?
Well, so 200 entrepreneurs whom I have mentored, nurtured, and made them grow. They are the subset of 3,000 I have mentored in total in my life. But the advice is basically what I have been doing for them is only one thing: is like, do not build your plan, your dream, because you could not make it in the corporate world. You are getting less package and you want to earn more. Don't build your venture based on that background. What came as a kind of a common function or a common thought process of all these 200 entrepreneurs are like, they never build a product or an idea for a short term. They were creating an impactful solution for a larger problem for the society. For example, Dhruva, the founder Jaspreet Singh, in 2007 when he met me in Delhi, I was traveling to India, I used to live in Japan at that time. The opening statement made me to commit myself to mentor him and then eventually invest in him. And the opening statement was like, I want to build the Veritas of India. So Veritas is a data backup company, pretty big in size, and he had the vision to build something from India like Veritas, and that was the only point which I picked up, and I could not do the validation about his code he wrote, and definitely was from IIT Guwahati. I believed in him, and that's what I find in all the founders who are successful in this cohort of 200. I have been mentoring, nurturing them, and they have done successful, fantabulous results so far in this journey. The second example is D2C brand, which is quite known. Deepika Padukone is the brand ambassador, investor in this startup also now. This is called Blue Tokai Coffee, which is quite popular in the market, and they compete with Starbucks in India also. The same thought process of the founder. They are not building Blue Tokai for the next 10 years. They are building Blue Tokai as the Starbucks of India, from India, for the global market for the next 100 years. So that's what I see a common thought process, the common denominator, I'll say, in all these 200 who have been nurtured by me. It's a long-term vision, bigger problem they're trying to solve, and with a consistency, irrespective of whatever problems they have been facing in their life. Trust me, they all are having a lot of problems. As I speak, many of them are struggling with their product to be sold, startup to raise money, litigations coming to them, but they are still moving ahead to find a next milestone to be achieved on time.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thought and vision, and we look forward to the collaboration with GHP Accelerator. So you rightly said, together we can, and from universities and we would like to add, together we will.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It was my privilege.